Hey folks, it's your buddy Mike Messier. Just saw Love Lies Bleeding. God, what a wonderful film. It's exciting, it's innovative, edgy, and a lot of films post Pulp Fiction, post Reservoir Dogs have tried to capture this Quentin Tarantino esque style of film. This one, I think it's a nice evolution of that. Instead of just trying to rip off a Tarantino film, this filmmaker, I believe the name was Ross, something or other, Ross Glenn, I don't know. But the filmmaker, whoever was in charge of this thing, has their own style. You could kind of say it's Tarantino esque, but there's a bit of hyper reality. Spoilers, by the way. Should you see this movie? Should you not? I think you should. I think most adults could handle this movie. Probably most teenagers could handle it. There are, I don't know, there's violence. There's graphic, realistic violence. Violence, in my opinion, that is going with the story. It's not just, like something like Saw. I don't particularly like because it's just that's the whole story is the gore and the violence and the torture. But this one, when the violence is there for a reason, it's what do you call it? It's mandated or it's necessary for the storytelling, and it works. And there's lesbianism, which in Kristen Stewart's case, I'm a big fan of hers. I think she's a tremendous actress. I liked a role she did maybe 2 or 3 years ago that I think was kind of overlooked. She played Princess Diana in a movie. I think it was just titled Diana. And at the time, there was some type of TV show that I did not watch that everyone was all happy about, that it was about the royal family. And some other actress played Diana in that show, which I never watched. But here, in that movie of Kristen Stewart playing Princess Diana, I thought she was tremendous. Other things she's done, the modern day Charlie's Angels remake. And, of course, going back to Twilight. But I think the Twilight thing was just kind of like her introduction to the world. I can't remember those movies too well. But in any event, I'm a big fan of that lady and her acting. I think she's got a great screen presence. And in this one, she kind of that character on the original on the L Word show. I don't know the fucking name, but the one that looks like Kristen Stewart or Kristen Stewart looks like her, kind of gave me that type of thing. So now, if you've seen the movie, if you haven't seen the movie, and I'm going to spoil the fuck out of it, so you can go see the movie and come back and then compare notes or whatever you want to do. Just don't forget. In fact, you can subscribe. It might help the process. Some of you watching my videos on LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook and so forth, you could do me a fucking favor for a change and actually go over to YouTube and push the subscribe button. It doesn't cost a thing, okay? You're just enjoying my reviews without subscribing. But in any event, I share these goddamn reviews on these other social medias in order to lure you in to the fucking subscribe button. Yet you ignore me. Anyway, I like this story. You got it's a period piece. I think it's taking place in 1990 when the wall, no, in 1989 actually, because they do show the year. So it's 1989, the end of the decade. But it's not a movie like a lot of stuff that takes place in the 80s or even the early 90s where, we have to put neon in everybody and everybody's walking around in a preppy shirt and everyone's wearing neon green. You don't have that horse shit in this movie. People are, kind of dressed drab. I think basically the movie takes place in New Mexico. That's where it was filmed. Big tax credit state, New Mexico. But we have this sparse gym that's kind of the focus of attention. This young woman, Kristen Stewart's character, Lou, runs the gym. Her father is played by Ed Harris. He looks magnificently different than usual. He's a bad guy in this one. Ed Harris is like the local corrupt asshole who kills people and so forth. And he's got some of the local police officers are on his payroll, some are not. He's killed people. There's some backstory exposition that we really don't get into about the mystery of Lou's mother. Did the Ed Harris character kill her off or what the fuck? Who knows? Then we have all this so forth and so on. One thing that I was a bit confused on, once again, if you've seen this movie, we can compare notes. I was a bit blurry as to whose Lou's father was. Initially, I thought Lou's brother-in-law was her father, okay? But it was actually her brother-in-law. I kind of like my version better because if it was the brother-in-law who fornicated Jackie, Lou's new, you know, if it was the father, like if the brother-in-law was the father and he fornicated Jackie in order for her to get the job at the shooting range, and then suddenly the daughter would be dating a woman that her own father fornicated. But that is not the case. So I was just a little blurry. Maybe I missed a word or two. Kristen Stewart and the actress playing her, I think, older sister, I'm guessing, they don't really look very similar. Like, they're not even in the ballpark of the same looks. And granted, some siblings are like that. Like, there are sets of siblings where there's no resemblance. I just find that in a film, even if the two characters have dark hair or blonde hair or something that gives them the resemblance that they could be siblings. And like I fucking said, I know in reality there are times when you have siblings that are full-blooded siblings, same parents and everything, and they don't look anywhere near each other. So yes, it's possible. But that being said, it allowed me this window of confusion that I thought the sister character might have been Lou's mom, and so on and so forth, and so on and so forth. In fact, when there was, even when the women were saying, "Oh, you worked for my dad," I thought it was a situation where they were confused. Like, they thought that the Ed Harris guy, Lou was trying to say that her dad was the creep in the car and Jackie was confused and so forth. But in any event, it was just me, folks. And I did not even miss a beat. I was in the theater the whole time from bell to bell. No breaks necessary. I did get into the theater. I had a back row left seat assigned to me. I was in the row by myself for about 5 minutes, and another gentleman came and sat down about 4 seats away from me. He had a big bucket of popcorn by himself, and he was just chomping away, and I could not tolerate hearing this gentleman chomp on his goddamn popcorn. So I went to not the front row, but the third row, which was the handicapped friend row, and I sat in a handicapped friend seat because I am a friend of the handicapped and everybody. However, there was no one with a wheelchair or anything that came into the theater that needed that a seat. If they did, I would promptly leave it. So I sat kind of in my own little island away from assholes, but I could hear people. There wasn't a ton of people in the audience, maybe 7. I could hear there was some LOL moments, laughing out loud. There was some hushes. I had a few audible gasps. I had a few audible moments when I just couldn't control myself, because this is a type of movie, especially I wasn't really sure what the story was going into it, where I was just getting provoked to make noise, okay? So I enjoyed it. I mean, this is a good ride. Like the stuff at the end where, once again, fucking spoiler, when Lou kind of like Incredible Hulks up and becomes like 50 feet or 100 feet tall. See, that's cool. See what I'm saying? Like, some people, and I've been in this situation where you're making a movie, because I do, one man on a camera films. You can see my movies made for a fraction of the cost of these fucking movies, not by my choice. But in any event, seeing that moment, it's like, well, this works. Like, because that is a pivotal moment in the film and also the filmmaker's career, where the soft thing to do, or the reliable thing. Okay, Lou comes back. She's all fucked up. She goes and she defends, not Lou, but Jackie comes back to defend Lou against the evil father. And then Jackie ends up getting shot and killed, and Jackie's the sacrifice, or whatever the fuck. Or someone sacrifices for someone, and the end of the movie comes, and one of the two women is driving the truck with the cat out to wherever the fuck by themselves. That's like the soft choice. This filmmaker, whoever the fuck it was, male or female, I don't know, they doing an Incredible Hulk thing where suddenly this character that we've seen in realism now for an hour and a half is suddenly Incredible Hulking and becoming 100 feet tall. And the whole steroid routine of jacking up on the human testosterone and so forth, it kind of plays into that. So, yes, we are entering a realm of not reality, fantasy here. We're entering a realm of surrealism and so forth. But because the movie was so grounded before that, and we have seen movies like this before, we have seen gritty, small town, desperate people killing each other and families turning against each other and shady characters. We've seen all that shit a million fucking times. But we haven't seen a woman Incredible hulk up, okay? So I enjoyed it. I did. I don't know. I mean, I think if you're one of these assholes that, oh my God, it's a lesbian couple, or oh my God, it's violence and there's physical abuse here. We don't really see the brother-in-law abusing his wife, do we? Except we do see the after effects. We see her with a bruised face, severely, a busted lip. So unless you're a person who shies away from that, like, oh, I can't deal with reality of situations, well, go knock on your neighbor's door, borrow a cup of sugar, and see what the hell's going on in there for a change. I mean, there's corruption and horrible things everywhere in the world, okay? It's reality. So in this movie, whatever the fuck, it all tied together, and I enjoyed it. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, now, some assholes, I think, will hinge on to this movie, and they'll watch it a lot, and it'll be like their little thing. And if this was the VHS days, which it's not, they would fucking play the VHS until it snapped, the tape, that is. I would say I enjoyed this movie. I wouldn't turn it off if it happened to come on cable TV. Will I necessarily have to run out and see it in a theater again? Not really, because I think I got it all the first time. And there's so many wonderful movies to go see. I mean, this weekend, it's the big Godzilla Kong thing. I went through this whole goddamn turmoil with people I know. I say I'm going to go see this movie on Easter Sunday, IMAX, 3D screen, and people are trying to convince me to change my time or change my theater. That's why I keep things to myself sometimes, because people, you tell them your wonderful fucking plan, instead of just going along with it. They want to tweak it. They want to modify it. Well, get your own goddamn plan, okay? So anyway, that's when I'll see the Godzilla Kong. Of course, just as I fucking predicted, because I was thinking to see that movie basically today. It didn't happen. But people, Twitter and Facebook and YouTube always have to plaster some level of spoiler. So some asshole plastered something, and I saw it, like a little headline. I won't even share it, because that's the type of person I am, about the Godzilla Kong movie. It wasn't a big reveal, but it was just enough. Assholes always fucking do that. Like, if they saw some goddamn movie or TV show that you didn't see, and you say, hey, please don't say anymore, because I'm going to go see it. Okay. Well, I'll just say this. And they rattle off some goddamn fact of the project, of the movie or the TV show that you haven't seen yet, and you just fucking requested them to keep their goddamn mouths shut, but they're not capable of doing so. I mean, the human existence is deplorable. I remember at one point I was working with a gentleman in a dinner theater production. We were both actors in this thing, and there was some boxing match that had occurred, and basically I had recorded the boxing match. It was some big fight, and I basically said to the other gentleman, I said, please, because we were both kind of mild boxing fans, and he said, oh, did you see that fight? And I said, I actually recorded it. I don't know the result. Please don't tell me. And of course the asshole says, oh, well, I'll just say this. It was a great 15-round fight. God damn it, I ruined the story. It was a great 12-round fight. This is not 1981. It was a great 12-round fight. So basically what he's telling me is, I'm not going to tell you who won, but I'm going to ruin the goddamn suspense of you wondering if there would be a knockout in rounds 1 through 12 by telling you that it's a 12-round fight. Okay, flying asshole. Did you have to do that? No, but you fucking did. Thanks. So any goddamn way. Whatever the fuck. Some asshole commented on one of my videos. They were saying, well, this guy who runs the channel gets to swear and say insulting things, and we don't get to do that. I'm out. What the hell are you talking about? There's probably some goddamn algorithm or some goddamn device on the YouTube where if you're trying to comment with a bunch of obscenities, your comment is being, obstructed or held for review. But that's not me trying to censor your intelligent ass, okay? I'm sure whoever the fuck from wherever the fuck has got some brilliant comment full of obscenities that I'm missing out on. So comment all the fuck you want. It might get held for a review, and then I'll fucking check it or I won't. It's not the end of the goddamn world. But because he's out, he's made his proclamation, whoever the fuck, one of the 96 subscribers, or 95 now, because this asshole left town, then I'll no longer have the benefit of his wonderful, insightful, brain surgeon-esque comments about my goddamn fucking movie reviews. So whoever the fuck, hashtag who gives a shit. But anyway, I'm all revved up. This movie was very exciting. It makes you want to, become a bodybuilding lesbian in 1989 and kill people. So if that is their wave of that happening, we'll know who to blame. Ed Harris once again with the long hair and the bald head. And the woman that played Jackie, I don't know if she's a new actor. Is she... have we not seen her before? The name came up on the screen and then I forgot it. Is she brand new to this thing called the film? I mean, what a debut. She looks like a true bodybuilder. I mean, so I don't know where they found her, but she was very good. And Kristen Stewart, once again, I find that she is a tremendous talent. I'm not sure how old she is. Maybe she's 35, 36, but she's going to have a big career. She might be 30. Who knows? She might be 32. But I find her to be a tremendous actress. Ed Harris, very good to see him in a role where he's not trying to save a boat from sinking or whatever the fuck. And the scumbag playing the brother-in-law, what a scumbag. The wife character, the abused wife's sister, a tragic character. I'm trying to think. Keith Jardine. At the beginning of the movie, the guy that gets punched in the face by Jackie, I believe that was Keith Jardine. Now, for you UFC fans who might subscribe to One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan YouTube channel, Keith Jardine is an Ultimate Fighter. I believe he was on, I want to say season 1 or season 2 of The Ultimate Fighter. I think it was season 1. I think they called him like Mean Keith Jardine or Keith the Machine Jardine. But he plays the bodybuilder with the beard that's kind of making a come on to Jackie, and then they exchange punches in the parking lot. I thought his character might come back later. It didn't. The kind of desperate lesbian who's trying to blackmail Lou into a relationship with the bad yellow teeth kind of reminded me to, take care of my own teeth, by the way, because how unattractive was that, her yellow teeth? But, I don't know if they were saying that she was a crackhead or crackish or whatever, or a heroin addict, who knows? But that was well done by that actress. I mean, sometimes an actor or actress plays a character so well, and the character is so kind of distasteful or unlikable, you don't even think to say what a great performance, because that character of the drug addict, annoying blonde, she's such a parasite, but she plays the role so well that you don't come out of there saying, oh, what a great performance by the fucking drug addict. You're just like, what a pain in the ass. Because she seems like a real annoying drug addict, which just annoyed you. And when she gets shot and later choked to death, you don't really cry. I did like the extra layer of storytelling with the, what's-her-face, Lou trying to quit smoking and all the tapes that she's listening to. I thought that was insightful and interesting. And I thought it was kind of funny in the end credits. Like, she pulls out, if you stuck around, she pulls out a pack of cigarettes from the dead blonde's purse and so forth. And so really this relationship is like, one of them is, the killer, Jackie. Jackie is the one to kill people and so forth. And our buddy there, Lou, Kristen Stewart's character, is the one to clean up the mess. So they have this dynamic and so forth. I thought it was good. So, I mean, I'm a fan of this film. I enjoyed it. I mean, I'll probably give this one 4 stars. It's right up there. I mean, it's interesting because I don't know if I could have enjoyed this movie anymore. So why would I give it 4 stars instead of 5? Just because I don't think it's like... it's not a movie that you walk away saying, oh, I learned so much about myself or humanity, or now I'm going to save the planet, or whatever the fuck. It's not something where I feel like I have to go write a fucking essay about it. It's just I enjoyed it. It was a visceral thrill. I feel, impressed and would see another film from this filmmaker, whoever the hell it is. And even I don't think they could really do a sequel with this movie. It's too good of a movie to really need a sequel, and there's really nothing left to do. But I do, if they somehow figure that out, I might go see it. I probably would, just to see what the hell would happen. But I enjoyed this movie. It's a little shot of adrenaline. The title, what was the title? Was it Love Lies Bleeding? That might be my only, I don't think the title is great. It's those titles of movies that are just like headline words thrown together, and like Love Lies Bleeding. Yes, sort of. I mean, I'm trying to think of where the lies are, per se. I mean, yes, the characters do lie to the police and so forth, and I don't know. I mean, I don't know what I would title this movie. What are the characters' names? Lou and Jackie. No, that's lame. Could you have a play, somehow have a play on weightlifting or bodybuilding and murder? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't. I guess I don't have a better title, so, I don't have a better title, but I don't think the title was good. I think it's too hard to remember. Love Lies Bleeding. I mean, it's not a good title. It's not. I mean, I know a good title when I hear it. And this one, it's kind of vague, because all these words we've seen in other movie titles, bleed or blood for this, bleed for this. Love is in a million fucking movie titles. Lies, sex lies and videotape amongst others. So I don't know. I don't have a suggestion. If you have a fucking wonderful comment, leave it in the comment. Gee whiz, Mike, they should have titled the movie this. Go right ahead. But I don't have a better title for it, except to say I didn't like the title that it had. It was too... It didn't paint a portrait for me. Here's a little aside on titles for films. Some movies or books or whatever the fuck, the title kind of helps someone want to read the story or see the movie or whatever the fuck it is. Like, the title promotes it. And other titles, you actually have to see the project, see the movie, or read the book, and then the title makes sense. Especially with films. There are films where if you see the movie and then you know the title, it all comes together. But if you just hear the title and then some other movies, the title is such a good exploration, you go see it. Now, for instance, we can take Twilight for an example, as we've discussed earlier. Twilight, if you just said Twilight and be like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, it's a vampire thing and the blah, blah, blah. So, okay, now it makes sense. And I'm not saying this is in a world where people didn't know about the book, right? But there are other, like Field of Dreams even is a little confusing, because Field of Dreams, it could just be about a farmer, or whatever the fuck. Or it could be, plantation times and the slaves revolted and they had these dreams of killing the slave master. You know what I mean? So they're working in the cotton fields, but they have these dreams of killing everyone in the house. See, that's a good movie. And that could equally be Field of Dreams. It doesn't have to be about baseball. So now if you stick the fucking baseball field onto the movie poster, okay. But other titles, The Wizard of Oz, okay. We've got a wizard and we've got something called Oz, which at the time nobody knew what the fuck that was. So that's getting somewhere. I've written a script called Wrestling with Sanity. I think that's pretty self-fucking explanatory. It gets you in your ass in the fucking chair. What else? American Luchador, another one of my wonderful goddamn screenplays that is yet to be produced in this shit for Earth. But that's a wonderful title, okay. Now, I do have a script, Also Ran, that I've written, a wonderful script, award-winning, and really doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it presents a mood, and it does make sense if you see the movie. But if you just say also ran, it's kind of like it's a mood, and it does make a hell of a lot of sense once you see the movie, but it may not be as hooky as the other titles. I'm trying to think. Give me a title for a film here. Silence of the Lambs. Is it The Silence of the Lambs or just Silence of the Lambs? That's some type of Mandela effect. I thought it was The Silence of the Lambs. Yeah, because you might think it's about a farm, like with the lambs are silent. You know what I mean? Like, unless you see the fucking movie and hear Hannibal Lecter and Clarice and all this horse shit, then how would you fucking know that his little lamb story is a bigger metaphor for whatever the fuck, for evil or whatever? So there you go. That's not a great title if you really think about it. It's a great title once you've seen the fucking movie. What else? What else you got for me, assholes? I don't know. Well, here you go. See the movie? I don't even know. King Kong and Godzilla, or Kong and Godzilla and Kong, whatever the fuck. Yeah, okay, because those entities have been established. So yes, we get the picture. The Godzilla -1. I mean, I still don't really know what the fuck that means, but I mean, you still have Godzilla. If you have some character, Star Wars is an interesting one. I mean, if you had never heard, if you knew nothing of Star Wars and you saw Star Wars, I think it would paint a portrait still of sci-fi. Maybe that's about it. I mean, you get the war in there. That's pretty clear that there's conflict. You have star, which would denote outer space shit, or, you know, something like that. But maybe not. I mean, you could say, oh, is this about movie stars? You know, in the 1970s, they still had movie stars back then. So you might just see Star Wars. Oh, is this is this fucking John Travolta and you know, whoever the fuck, you know, Marlon Brando or Al Pacino having a conflict? What is this? So anyway, folks, I don't know. This is a whole other thing, and I think I'll just sign the fuck off. But anyway, MikeMessier.com. One Pro Wrestling and Sports Fan YouTube channel, one artist, Mike Messier. All you people tell me how great I am, but yet none of you fuckers subscribe, which is pissing me off. So one artist, Mike Messier, for the art, one Man in a Camera Films for my wonderful films, and one Mike Messier, you're here now. Or you just click the fucking link and you subscribe. So that's it, folks. Wonderful time at the film. Good job.